Hey, hey,
How are you, Mr. Roland?
hey, pretty good Islam. Listen, you right before you rang, you called me at the same time. Another person had called me just seconds before you did. So I was
Yeah,
looking, and I took the first person. That's what I did.
it's okay, no problem.
Thank you for what. So I have to say thank you for waiting.
You deserve it.
You're very kind. Thank you much. So
Yeah, okay, thank you. You're welcome. Okay.
I I tell you for the other day, I think it was last week, I was thinking of you, and so I did a search for myself on YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah. Have you found yourself?
So, do many people watch those videos?
Um, let's say on average 100 view, 200 view.
100 people view the videos that you put up there.
Yeah. Some of them have reached 1,000 now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm talking about Cambly videos.
Well, yeah,
But
the ones that we do, like the video of this, you upload to YouTube.
yeah,
And so you're getting viewers who are accessing this video via YouTube,
yes.
and up to 1,000 will look at them. What type of reaction do people write? Do people write reactions to the
Uh,
video? Because
okay, let's see.
a lot of it is in Islamic. So a lot of the
Uh,
no.
no, no, no. I didn't have actually because we are not. Let's say I'm here engaging with you in this lesson via
Yeah.
this video. So they are listening to our reactions and how we are speaking to each other. So
Okay.
if we are directing questions to the viewers, of course they are going to engage with you. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they are just seeing two, let's say, two different people speaking to each other and they are enjoying the conversation. They
Uh-huh.
don't have to interfere or comment. Some of them, yes, might leave a comment. Wow,
Yeah.
well done. You did great. I wish to speak like you one day, stuff like this. But
Mhm.
others, because you are not engaging them with a question or more than a question, so
Yeah.
they are not going to, yes, what are you looking at?
No, I'm looking at your
So,
bio. I mean, I've always called you Islam, but your name is Tagan. Tagan. Tagan.
Tagen,
Taj.
Tagen.
That's
Yeah,
your name. Tajan.
a family name.
Oh, it's a family name.
Yeah,
Oh.
Islam is my first name.
Oh, okay. Tajan, your family name. All right.
Yeah, Ahmed surname, my father name, and finally the last name Tajan.
Okay, I got you. All right. So,
You know, the Tajan is a kind of plate that you can cook food in it, inside it.
what is that where tangine comes from? Is that where tangine comes from?
Tajan, yes.
And that is a Moroccan. Isn't that
Yeah,
more? Isn't that more Moroccan?
yeah, it's
Because
kind of, yeah,
when we go to Paris, there's a Moroccan restaurant that we visit,
mm,
Savour d'Attica, Savour d'Attica, at the taste
Savodatka, yeah.
the taste of Attica, and so and we eat. I go there and have tangine.
Tajin, yeah. So
Yeah,
what was inside it?
what's inside it? Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know, raisins, rice, all that sort of stuff.
yeah, it has different sorts of food you can make inside it. You can do
Oh,
fish, you can do meat, you can do
yeah,
chicken, you
yeah.
can. Uh, it depends on the components that you're going to use
All
inside
right.
it.
Yeah, so you're refreshing me. The tangine is not is how it's cooked. It's in a tangine.
Yeah,
Right. So you can get chicken, you can get beef,
Even you can get macaroni. Yeah,
and you
you
could.
can do macaroni instead.
I'm trying to think if she does lamb, because we'll be back in Paris on
Why not?
November 16th. We'll be back in
Wow.
Paris, so we're gonna.
Right.
I'm definitely gonna go and visit her and have some tagine.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
Hmm.
always nice. Where it's tasty. Actually, when you try it with fish, it's unbelievable.
Really,
Try it.
and really. So, what makes a tagine? Okay, the vessel that it's cooked in, but the spices is what makes it what it is.
It it depends on the cooker, you know.
Uh-huh. Well,
It depends on the
her
chef.
mother's in the kitchen.
Of course, you can ask how he make this food for you.
Mm.
Not only that, you know, but also you can ask for more things to add. He can add peppers for you. He can add onion for you on
Yeah,
it, and they get really grilled well inside.
but they put dates, raisins,
Oh, it
rice.
depends. Yeah, I know. It depends on the food itself.
Yeah.
It depends on the food. You
No,
know the special thing about this that you put the tagine itself in an oven,
yeah,
surrounded by fire from
yeah.
everywhere.
Uh-huh. Right.
The tagine should be made of what? Let's say
Clay,
clay.
clay.
Yeah, clay. Yeah, it should be made from clay, so it can add a kind of what flavor, sense of the mud to the food, and the taste. It's amazing. Yeah,
What?
I'm missing this because I don't have such things in Kuwait here. You can have all this pleasure in Egypt.
So what? So what have you been up to since we last spoke on August 18th?
Oh, August. Oh,
So
was it August?
we're talking 2 months, 2 months, almost 2.5 months.
Yeah, I have I have met too many tutors since that day. Uh, I have met an interesting one, Mr. Dan. He was a professor in China,
Oh yeah.
for 20 years. Excellent. And he came back to Ireland, home, to help his mom and dad in farming, lifting his career in China. Wow, wow. I love this man. Not
Uh-huh.
only that, he has academic studies and he can give you the reason why this happens. He is amazing.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, and I have a friend too from Britain. I haven't speaking with him since the same date. By the way, his name is Prime, and he is now enjoying his honeymoon.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. Good.
Yeah,
So and believe me, I'm very comfortable with who I am and what I do at Cambly and how I do it.
yeah,
I'm okay with it.
great.
But I'm just wondering, so in if you were if what do I mean I this gentleman who taught in China for 30 years or 20 years, and
20 years, yeah,
you
Mr.
know
Daniel.
I cannot put my experience alongside his. I don't.
We are we all are unique with what the experience that we have gained in our
Hmm?
run in life.
Right.
So you have passed through situations I haven't before. You know,
I
you have passed.
Yeah. I spoke to a woman. She was Somalian.
Mhm.
Wore a head covering, had a hijab. Her English was pretty darn good. She worked for the UN and she was in Yemen at a refugee camp.
Okay, so she's Somalian girl. From your word, she's Muslim. She works for the UN, and she is now in the
And
Yemen as a refugee.
she's in a no, she's in a refugee camp. She's working there for the UN.
Okay.
She's employed by the UN. So she was telling me, she asked me a question. Did you ever have a gun pointed at your head?
I have.
And she has also. Now look, Islam, I carried a gun for 27 years in the state police in New Jersey. I never pointed my gun at anybody. I never had a gun pointed at me. 27 years. Never. But now you're telling me you had a gun pointed at your head, and she's had a gun pointed at her head by probably, I'm not sure if it was in Yemen or if it was in Sudan, the group called Shahab. Yeah, they're in Africa. They're in Africa. They're in Sudan or Somalia. So
I'm not familiar with this term.
Right. Shahab or Shahab. Then, but in any event, it puts things in perspective, doesn't it? When you hear the experiences of other people, it puts things in perspective. Many times it will fill us with humility. We will be humbled.
Yeah, of course.
And I think when we lose that sense of humility, or when we fail to recognize that, we all should be humble. And when we are not humble, we're not nice people. When we're not humble, we're not nice people.
What we are without being polite, yes.
With that, just being humble, not thinking, not passing judgment on someone else, not thinking that we are better than somebody else because of our skin color or our accent or our inability to speak a particular language. When we lose that humility, when we lose that sense of being humble, we become not likable.
Yes. But you are telling who in this world?
I am preaching.
Yeah. I guess you got the message.
We're gonna call this is what we call preaching to the choir.
Preaching
to the choir. To preach.
Hey, can you type it, please?
I'm gonna preach.
Is it Preach? Or
preaching
preaching to the choir.
In
Preaching to the choir.
All right.
CHOIR. Yeah.
The minister, the pastor, the priest at a Christian church, he does a sermon and he preaches to the people. He gives them a message. He gives them a message, just like in Islam. The imam or whoever sends a message to those who attend.
Yes.
Here the minister is preaching. He's preaching. Okay. So if you can find that word in the dictionary, preach.
Is it as giving a speech?
Yeah, like giving a speech. Only in the context of religion. All right. So
preaching.
but if a minister is preaching to the choir, he is giving his message to people who already believe what he's preaching, what he's telling them.
What is he telling them? Yeah. So they are.
So what I was just telling you, I was preaching to the choir. You already know these things. You already practice these things.
Yeah, I do. Actually, you're reminding me with a situation happened with me today while I was at school.
Yeah.
I was telling a story, and in this story, there was a mention of some kind of a bad action that people could do. And one of my students just mentioned the name of another classmate. And I told him, you shouldn't. Why you have just mentioned a name? Uh, it's nonsense that you are making a trouble here.
Yeah.
Are you trying to make a fight between you and your friend?
And he is. That's what he was trying to do. His intentions were.
So just listen to the story, get the ethic out of it or the moral out of it. Just learn the lesson without making any trouble or a problem. I was trying to help to solve a problem. Now I was in another problem, you know?
I had a 17-year-old from Oman come to me the other day, and he said, so what is stronger, to have to do something or need to do something?
Okay.
And so I'm thinking, I'm looking at those words as pretty much interchangeable.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
so he was asking you from the grammatical point of view?
Yeah. And I could, after I tried to tell him, because he argued against it. He said, need meant this and have to do something meant this. And so I said,
okay,
look, your instructor, wherever you are in high school, told you this. I'm not going to dissuade you from believing what you heard. And go ahead,
of course.
Use those two words in the right context. Go ahead. I don't care. That's fine. But as far as being here in the West, if somebody says I have to go to the bathroom or I need
to go to the bathroom,
you know what?
Just go to the bathroom.
The same thing. The same.
Yes.
But then he was getting into nuances like a soldier has to go to war, or the soldier needs to go to war.
He insists on it.
I said, okay, so need, he doesn't have to, but have to, he has to go. The soldier have to.
He's obligated to do, but without his.
But I said, okay, listen, but let's look at the context. A soldier who's down here on the food chain is being told by his sergeant or a lieutenant, you're going. You need to go. He has no choice. He has to go. And so your context was, if you're using context to prove your point, that was not the right example to use.
Yes, you're right. You are totally. You have reminded me. I was teaching my students the future tense. Okay, and of course we have 3 forms to use or express the future. So you can use will, you can use going to, and the other form using the present continuous am is are plus verb ing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can say I'll travel, I'm going to travel, I am traveling, and all of them refers to the future.
Right.
But with a little difference. This is quick decision, this is intention, and this is arrangement. But if you're going to tell a foreign man, if you're going to speak with an American one or a British one, I'm going to travel, I will travel, I'm traveling, he will get a message. It doesn't matter, are you planning for it or not? It just tells him it's in the future. That's all. But you have to mention this for them,
there are people who are grammatical geeks. You know the word geek?
Geeks, yeah.
They're grammatical geeks.
Yeah.
They're exceptionally talented.
Let's see.
Analogy.
Can I? Yep. Can I use the word nerd instead of geeks?
Yeah. I get it. Well, it all depends.
It all depends
if they choose to be a geek or if they don't choose to be a nerd or something like that.
Okay, so is there a big difference between geek and nerd?
No. Not that Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Okay, great. You know, that's just the sense of humor and laughing here while speaking. I can't find in another way of communicating with the other tutors. Not too many readers I can do this and feel comfort and ease while speaking. This is nice.
Thank you.
Uh,
It is well. I just think. I mean, it's easy for me to say because this is my native language. However,
yeah,
I think when students are too hung up on grammar, we forget about the mission, which is communication.
yeah,
Now, I read this I actually read this in a reading assignment that I was doing with a student, and it was not perfect. So the mission is not perfection, but progress, making progress, not shooting for perfection, but making progress all the time. Progress.
You know, my strategy while teaching my classes, since the first day I enter the class, I'm telling them, I'm here not just to punish you. I'm here to evaluate your level of English and start working from the point you have been to a better point. I'm just here to, let's say, improve your English as much as I can. Then the next tutor in the next year will continue doing. Maybe he do much better than I did. Maybe he's going to do less, but still, you are in progress. You are learning. Uh, you know, I'm a teacher, and we have too many approaches while teaching. We have grammar approach, and when you teach grammar, you have to make sure of the accuracy part, accuracy in writing, the pattern of sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we are not seeking fluency while we are teaching grammar. So we can seek fluency in reading, speaking, discussing, making, let's say, oral fluency in the class.
Yeah.
So we have two different approaches while we teach.
Who are your students? Who are your students?
Who are?
Yeah, ages or what? I mean, what age?
Intermediate and secondary.
Adult?
But intermediate.
Adults?
No, not adults. They are between 12 and 15, 16 years old.
Okay.
So they are young, teen.
Yeah.
Teenager. Yeah. While I was in Egypt, I was teaching adults.
Yeah.
Even I taught a professor in the college. He had research and he wanted to introduce his research in London, and he asked me for help to help him to get ease with speaking in accuracy and fluency at the same time.
Yeah.
I guess at that time I was good in speaking.
You know, I've had more Egyptians over the last 2 weeks visit me.
Really?
Yeah, one was a businessman who was exporter of agricultural products, some of which he buys and resells, and then he's like the wholesaler. He buys from the producers, and then ships them out of Alexandria. Sends them up on a ship on the Nile.
Yeah.
But he also owns his own acreage, his own farm where he grows chamomile.
He grows what?
Chamomile. It's an herb. It's an herb. Chamomile. I think it's spelled like this.
Are you trying to say it in Arabic?
No, that's how we say it in English. Chamomile. Alexa, how do you spell chamomile?
Chamomile is spelled CHAMOMILE. E.
All right. This is the way it's spelled.
Chamomile.
Oh.
Chamomile. I'm not sure I know this one.
Alexa,
Can you describe it?
Alexa, what is chamomile?
I'm not sure.
All right, I'm going to ask her again. Alexa, what is chamomile?
The noun chamomile is usually defined as a composite plant, Chamomilium nobile, or Anthemis nobilis, native to the Old World, having strongly scented foliage and white ray flowers with yellow centers used medicinally and as a tea.
So it's used as a tea and medicinally in medicine. And he used that word. This guy who was the exporter used the word. And so, most of his product gets shipped to Germany.
Germany, wow, nice.
Where they're making chamomile tea. They're making out of this herb. And so I learned all about farming of chamomile.
Really? I'll have to search him too by myself. I'll have to Google it.
Yeah, and again, it's like she says, it is also used for medicinal purposes. So yeah, you have to look into it. But it's an herb that goes back, I'm sure, centuries, and has been used by many different cultures in many different ways.
I guess I might know it in Arabic, but I'm not familiar with the word in English. But I just can't surf the net while speaking on Cambly.
I gotcha. So
yeah.
But that's my interaction with the few Egyptians that I've encountered over the last 2-week period.
You have reminded me with something I forgot to ask you. One of those times while we were speaking, you have told me, let's say it might be from 4 months now or 3 months, your grandson was baptized.
He was what? Baptized. Yes.
So I wanted to know about this event. You have told me that you have went for 6 right? 6 hours journey.
Matter of fact, yeah. Matter of fact, we'll be going down to his first birthday party on June 9th. He'll be one, and his sister's 3. Will be 3. But nice. The baptism is of Christian faith, and it is welcoming the newborn, recognizing the newborn as a member of the faith, Christian faith, who follows Jesus Christ. That's all. Now, right now, it's custom in the United States. We baptize babies who are maybe 4 months old, 5 months old, and it means in a Catholic church or most churches, the priest or the pastor will take water and put water on the head, like when John the Baptist baptized Jesus in the River Jordan. I think it was in the River Jordan. But there was a full body immersion where they dunked the entire body into water. So that's what baptism is. Simply that.
That's it. So now it's some kind of formal thing in the States?
And it's always been part of the Christian. It's a Christian sacrament. Yeah, it's something that it happens. Yeah, that's a regular thing. That's not a special thing.
Yeah. Now I got a good point of it. Now I got a good view of it. I got the big.
It's a sacrament, just as is Holy Communion, confirmation.
Holy Communion.
Like that. So in any event, I will say to you, Ma salam.
Ma salama, yeah. You still know good words in Arabic. Of course, the usual question. Can I upload this episode on YouTube?
Is it worthwhile? If it's worthwhile for you, then go right ahead.
It always works. Just speaking with you, is a good
All right.
benefit. Great benefit. Good.
Be well, Islam. We'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye. Bye-bye.